There have been a number of comments by a few people on this channel pointing out the use of AI. From the tone of these messages, I can only assume this is forbidden by some in the Linux community. Today, I am interviewing a YouTube creator who spends many hours making videos on Linux for the benefit of his viewers. Our guest today prefers to remain anonymous. We will black out his image to protect his identity. We shall refer to him as Wilkes. Wilkes, welcome to the channel, and thank you for agreeing to this interview. Let's begin with our first question. Do you use AI?
Am I using AI? Well, you bet I am, and so are you.
Some people are saying that's a betrayal, that it undermines your credibility.
Well, I think they didn't really watch the videos I made last year. I've been warning people about this long before they cared. It's not a betrayal. It's what engineers do. We test, we learn, and we tell the truth about it.
Why did you start using AI in 2025?
Oh, it wasn't 2025. I started using AI in 1973. A chess program known as Sargon II, which appeared on the CDC 6400 mainframe. The moment I realized that it was reading me, I knew that I had to understand it. And that kicked off a 50-year journey with a few pauses while hardware caught up. That happened in the 80s, again in the 90s. I suspect it will happen again within the next decade or so.
So this didn't just show up out of nowhere? What about gaming? Is AI really part of that too?
Well, AI has actually been with us for decades, especially in gaming. One of the first places I remember that showed up was a game called Adventure that was written in 1975. It used primitive AI to make the game feel alive. It reacted, it responded, and it created challenges out of your gameplay, especially when you were in the dungeon. From there, every generation of gaming has leaned harder into AI. If you're gaming in 2025, you're using some of the most sophisticated gaming AI ever built. That's the fire that's been burning a long time.
Okay, but now AI is in everything, right?
AI is not just in some remote server farm. It's in your phone, it's in your laptop, it's in your smart TV, probably it's even in your toaster. Every time you run a web search, that autocomplete, that's AI. That comment you're going to leave on this video, AI sees it first. Even your car's onboard systems, AI. You may think you're not using it, but we all are, and more is coming.
What about Linux? Does it use AI? And what about the Linux kernel?
Well, is it there yet? Not fully, not yet. But the foundations are being laid, and the next wave of research is already being merged or proposed. So let's talk about some of the areas I know of, and there might be others that I don't. The first one is in machine learning schedulers. These are designed to optimize task placement based on real-time system behavior. Unlike traditional schedulers that operate by fixed rules or heuristics, machine learning schedulers adapt dynamically. They learn patterns of resource usage and they prioritize accordingly. It means more efficient use of the CPU, reducing latency, and even handling better a number of very complex workloads. The second one is in anomaly detection. A number of malware has appeared that is using AI to direct it. And so the other side has to one up in order to counter. And anomaly detection, they're looking at kernel integrated models that can monitor runtime behavior, identifying deviations, and flagging potential threats, all without human intervention. This opens up entirely new levels of runtime security, especially in cloud and container environments, where scale and complexity make manual oversight totally impossible just because of the sheer number of systems. The third area is in system profiling. Now, we're not talking about user profiling. We're talking about AI models that are being trained to analyze the I/O patterns from your workloads, the amount of memory usage that's required during a particular point in time each day, and thread behavior, how many threads get fired off, and then what threads are they. This enables smarter diagnostics, faster levels of debugging, and predictive tuning of system parameters. So rather than relying solely on logs or manually tracking them, the system can flag performance drifts before they cause a failure. The system can be responding to that before the system reaches a critical barrier because of a limit. Number of files open, for example, would be one. Linux already, however, uses AI tools for automatic bug tracking, regression detection, and patch analysis. That was areas Linus talked about several years ago where he saw AI being useful. But in the next year or so, I don't know when these will make it in. I'm not part and parcel to the priorities that are going into the Linux kernel, but I suspect very soon that there'll be a lot of those three things that we just talked about becoming part of the kernel's active intelligence. That's not speculation. That's inevitable.
What do you say to the people afraid of AI?
Well, should you worry about it? Should you worry about AI? I'm not really worried about AI itself. I mean, AI is just complex math. It's nothing more than that. But I do worry about two things. First is its unbridled use in devices built for warfare. When we take the decisions to fire out of the hands of human beings and place it within AI, you are giving up control as to who and what to destroy. That worries me because AI has no idea about moral grounds. What to fire on, what not to fire on, how big an ordnance to use, how small an ordnance to use. Yeah, because all of that has ramifications. And that can become dangerous very quickly. Second, the unchecked reliance on AI-generated responses, especially when the system is wrong or goes completely off the rails. Yeah, AI does get it wrong, and sometimes it does it spectacularly. Somebody needs to check and make sure that what it's doing and what it's saying is correct. We don't need it flagging, the arrival of a new virus when no such thing happened. So, yeah, we don't need that kind of fear and loathing in Las Vegas, do we? So, do I fear it? No. No, not really. Do I worship AI? Oh, definitely not. But I think what we need is an understanding deep enough and informed enough to make responsible choices about when to use AI and how far we're going to let it penetrate our lives. Because if you do nothing, it will be it'll be in your pocket soon. If you're going to take fire from the gods like Prometheus did, you have to touch it first before you can bring it into a technology-based world. Otherwise, you're just swinging at shadows in the dark. You don't know what it's actually doing. You don't understand what it's doing, and without that knowledge, you're just guessing. You're just promoting or parroting what other people are saying, and you don't know if that is correct or not.
What would you like to say to those who hate AI and think it should be banned?
Well, I get it. AI feels big, it's changing rapidly, and yeah, it can feel threatening. Every leap in technology comes with disruption and discomfort. That's its purpose. It's meant to change direction. It's meant to do things better. Imagine if people didn't. I mean, people were afraid of believe it or not, the train, the steam train. They thought it was unnatural to go faster than a horse can walk, but it shortened the time to go from one place to another, making it possible to reach farther distances than could have been done in the past. Yeah, it shortened not only the time, but also the amount of money it took to get there. Imagine being on a ship for a couple of months sailing to the New World. Yeah, yeah. Steamships got there a heck of a lot faster, didn't they? So, but fear doesn't bring clarity. You can't push back the shadows by hiding from the fire. You need to learn where that light is coming from. I mean, you have to spend some time and learn AI, learn how it works, learn what it does. And then maybe you won't fear it so much. I'm not using I've been accused of using AI to cheat or to replace myself or to chase trends. Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm making $179 this month on my video for what I put in usually 7 to 8 hours of work. Do the math. That's my hourly rate. Yeah, I'm definitely doing this to get rich. Yeah, I'm using AI to explore and to understand and to build because that's what I've always done over the past 50 years. That's what I'm doing. I'm not here to chase trends. I'm here to understand how things work. That's my engineering focus. That's what gets me up in the morning, is learning something new that I didn't know before. So if you think I've crossed the Rubicon, take a good look around at the tech you're using every day. It's already in your phone, your car, your smart speakers, your search bar, and even GIMP has it. So yeah, GIMP can do photogrammetry now. So this isn't a future I created. It's the one we're already standing in. AI technology, however, is like any other technology. It's a two-edged sword. It can cut down and it can carve a path forward. The difference is in the hands that wield it and how it's used. If you don't understand it, how will you know the difference? And here's the warning. So Rome, the Roman Empire, reached a point where the technologies it used, like concrete, arches, aqueducts, there were others, but they were no longer understood by the people who relied on them. None of them took the time to figure out how or what that knowledge base worked and how things were built. So that knowledge was lost. And eventually so was the civilization that built it because of that. What followed wasn't progress. It was collapse. And it stayed collapsed for 1,000 years. Imagine that. 1,000 years where no one knew how anything worked. 1,000 years where it was easier to fear things, tear things down, and then learn how to build again. It took 1,000 years before people emerged from that darkness. Yeah, let's not do that again. We don't need to do that again, do we? Certainly we've learned from that. So
are you going to stop using AI?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to stop. I started using AI 5 decades ago. It's been the force that's propelled me through this entire journey of technological evolution. It's, like I said, it's what drives me. AI doesn't drive me. It's new tech that drives me. But AI happened to be a focus of mine. And yeah, I read a book called Cybernetics, which actually goes further than AI does. It's actually a bigger piece. If you ever get a chance, read Wiener's book on cybernetics. It's a classic. It's old, but it's a classic. That's what propelled me. That's what really caught my interest. So AI, though, it's just a tool. And like every tool that humanity has ever built can be used you can swing good or evil. I mean, look at magnetism. You can levitate a train with it, or you can power a rail gun with it. Radar, you can cook your meal, or you can guide a weapon in war. Computers, they give you access to knowledge, or they can watch everything you're doing. So, and again, how will you know the difference if AI is controlling all that? For me, AI, you're just going to fear everything eventually, and then you'll learn nothing. AI is a utility. It shortens the time it takes me to make a video. I'm a one-man band. I'm just all here by myself. It fixes my poor grammar. I used to pride myself on my ability to write, but ever since learning COBOL, that was destroyed. Yeah, I used to program in COBOL a long time ago. Well, there's no way I'd ever do it again. So yeah, it fixes my grammar and my descriptions, but it doesn't replace my thoughts. What you read and what you hear, it's me. I'm telling you, it's still me. AI may clean up the narration. It may smooth out my sarcasm, which is kind of terrible sometimes. So it's Midwestern sarcasm, which is kind of indistinguishable from, or is he being serious? I mean, that's kind of the way Midwest sarcasm is. So, but I use it to check my dates and my spelling. But it's still me, the voice behind it. It's all this is still mine. I still direct the message. I'd still choose what topics I want, what the outline's going to look like, and what the general form of the narration is. I let AI clean it up. That's it. That's it. That's all I do. If that bothers you, well, I'm sorry. I guess you'll have to go somewhere else to find someone who isn't relying on AI.
What would you like to say to my viewers?
I want to leave it with this. Arthur Clarke once proposed 3 laws of prediction. So the third one is the most famous, but I want to cover all 3 of them because they're really kind of important. His first one was, when a distinguished but elderly scientist states that something is possible, he's almost certainly correct. When he states that something is impossible, he's very likely wrong. So if you hear somebody saying it's impossible, chances are he's probably wrong about that. And in my lifetime, that has been proven true over and over again. Number 2, the only way of discovering the limits of what's possible is to venture a little way past them into the impossible. That's what I'm doing with AI. It's in order to understand where its limits are, you got to push it. You got to push it this way or that way to see where it goes haywire. And yeah, it does go haywire, and it's pretty spectacular when it does, because it doesn't even know it's doing it. It'll just start. They call it hallucination, and yes, it is hallucination. It'll just go off and start saying things that make you go, "What? What the hell are you talking about?" It's kind of funny when it happens. It's kind of fun to push it there too, to see what phrases and what combinations will actually force it into that box. So yeah, number 3, this is the most famous one. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Yeah, that's been quoted time and time and time again. So it's true. If you don't understand it, you're just going to think it's magic. So, and that's where I think we are with AI. It looks like magic to those who haven't touched the fire, but it isn't. It's something we have built. Now the question is, what do we do with it, and how do we manage it? How do we wrap things around it to control it, to prevent it from going haywire? Without understanding how it works, you're in no position to discuss that or even understand it. So my advice to you is pick it up, learn it. You might as well. It's coming to you whether you want it or not. You can toe the line of, I'm not going to do this. That's fine. That's fine. You're totally entitled to your opinion and do whatever you think is best. But you're going to become like those people in Rome that don't understand how things work anymore. It'll pass you by.
Thank you for your time today. I always enjoy our conversations. I have the greatest enthusiasm about the topic of artificial intelligence.
That's all I had for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye for now.